Patricia stood in the bridal suite, phone in hand, reading a post that would soon cost her mother half the estate. Her mother Linda had posted a photo from a Mother's Day brunch. The caption read, "My only real daughter on the day that matters." Linda and Jessica raised their glasses, laughing, oblivious to the damage one caption could inflict.
She knew what she was doing. She always did.
Patricia didn't cry. She took a screenshot. Then, with a calm that surprised even herself, she tagged her grandmother Margaret.
If Linda wanted to act like she had only one daughter, Margaret should see it.
In the church, Anthony waited at the altar, unaware of the storm gathering beyond his bride's serene face. Patricia stood, adjusted her veil, and prepared to walk down the aisle, carrying a secret that would unravel an entire will. 3 weeks earlier, Patricia had called her mother to confirm the wedding date.
You know I can't miss the Mother's Day brunch. It's a tradition with Jessica, you'll understand. Of course. I understand completely. Give Jessica my love. The brunch is on Sunday. My wedding is Saturday. She didn't even try.
That evening, Patricia told Anthony on the back porch of their small house.
Your mother is making a choice she'll have to live with. We'll have a beautiful day anyway.
It's not about the wedding. It's about her always choosing Jessica over me.
On the morning of the wedding, the empty seat where Linda would have sat was a quiet confirmation.
She really didn't come, and she never would for anything that mattered to me.
Patricia said her vows with Anthony, her voice steady, but a part of her was already preparing for a reckoning she could not yet name. 90 miles away, Margaret's tablet lit up with the tagged post while she rocked on the farmhouse porch. She tapped the notification and read Linda's caption again. "My only real daughter on the day that matters."
She really posted that on Patricia's wedding day. The cruelty of it.
Inside her study, Margaret sat down heavily, the weight of 18 months of observation pressing on her.
I never should have given Linda that power of attorney. I knew it then, and I know it now.
Margaret had watched Linda favor Jessica for years, ignoring Patricia's birthdays, skipping her recitals, always prioritizing the other sister.
This post isn't just an insult. It's the final proof I've been waiting for.
She saved the screenshot into a folder labeled Estate Matters, her finger hovering over the attorney's number for a long moment.
Not yet, but soon. Linda has no idea what she's set in motion.
Back at the reception, Patricia laughed with Anthony, but behind her eyes a quiet calculation matched Margaret's from a distance. 2 days after the wedding, Margaret finally pressed the call button, her hand steady despite the gravity of the moment.
Harold, it's Margaret. I need to discuss some estate matters. Can you see me tomorrow?
Meanwhile, Linda posted another album from the brunch. Linda and Jessica clinking mimosas, captioned, "The perfect Mother's Day with my favorite daughter." Patricia saw the new post while making coffee in her quiet kitchen.
She just can't stop twisting the knife, even after everything.
Put the phone down, love. You don't need to see that again.
It's not just her posting. It's knowing she'll never see me as worthy of a simple Sunday.
That evening, Margaret sat in her study, reviewing the folder labeled Estate Matters, her resolve unshaken by time. The next morning, she walked into Harold Webb's office, carrying not just the folder, but a quiet fury that had been building for 18 months. Patricia, miles away, felt a strange sense of expectation, as if the ground beneath her was quietly shifting. In Harold Webb's wood-paneled office, Margaret opened the folder and laid out the printed Facebook post.
I gave Linda interim power of attorney over the trust 6 years ago. I believed she would be responsible. But in 18 months of watching, she's only shown favoritism toward Jessica. This wedding day post was the final cruelty.
Webb pulled the printout closer, adjusting his glasses as he read the caption.
This is more than a bad judgment call. Combined with a history of neglect, it could be evidence of unfitness.
So what can I do? I want that power of attorney revoked, and I want my will amended.
Revoking the POA is straightforward if we prove breach. An amendment based on this will require careful drafting.
She made this easy for me. Her cruelty left a perfect paper trail.
Margaret nodded, her hands folded calmly, but her voice was iron when she spoke again.
Then let's begin. I have no intention of leaving Linda anything more than she deserves.
Over the following days, Webb gathered every thread of Linda's behavior toward Patricia, records, emails, and phone logs. A relative came forward with a thread of 14 text messages Linda had sent the morning of the wedding. One read, "Patricia's desperate little party is finally here. Good thing I have one real daughter." Webb printed them out and slid the stack across his desk toward Margaret, who had come for an update.
Desperate. Real daughter. She was mocking her own child to the family behind her back.
These messages confirm a long pattern. Combined with the post, they show sustained contempt for Patricia.
Add them to the file. Every single one. I want the court to see exactly who Linda really is.
Back in her study that night, Margaret copied each message into her own handwritten notes, the ink pressing deep into the paper.
14 chances to show love, and she used each one to draw blood. Linda made this decision for me.
The evidence file now held a damning portrait, a mother who publicly and privately ridiculed one daughter while rewarding the other. Margaret returned to Harold Webb's office one final time, the evidence file thick and complete.
The revocation cites Linda's neglect of Patricia as a clear breach of fiduciary duty. Once signed, it's irreversible.
Margaret took the pen and signed without hesitation. The trust was no longer in Linda's hands.
She'll never use my name to hurt Patricia again.
A certified letter arrived at Linda's apartment the next morning.
What is this? Revoking my power of attorney? Margaret must be going senile.
Margaret received confirmation of delivery, a quiet smile settling on her face.
It's just a formality. Margaret's too old to manage things on her own. It won't last.
Now, Harold, let's move to the will. I want to amend it as we discussed.
The ground had shifted beneath Linda's feet, and she had yet to feel the tremor.
Patricia will receive the farmhouse and the remainder of the estate, approximately $3.4 million. Jessica will receive $200,000, but only if she publicly apologizes to Patricia within 90 days. And Linda will receive $1. That is all she is worth to this family now.
Margaret, are you certain? A single dollar is legally valid but can invite contestation from a disinherited child.
I am absolutely certain. The evidence file will stand against any contest.
Webb's pen moved across the draft, his expression a mixture of professional duty and personal shock.
She called Jessica her only real daughter. Now Jessica will have to earn her legacy.
Within the hour, a draft of the new will lay on the desk, the Facebook post already marked as Exhibit A.
The document is prepared. Once you sign and it's witnessed, it becomes your new last will.
Then we'll execute it soon. I've waited 18 months. A few more days won't change my mind.
Conditional clauses can be messy. Jessica could apologize just for the money and later claim coercion.
Then we'll require a public apology that can't be erased. She'll have to post it where the world can see.
That same afternoon, Linda posted again, tagging Margaret in a new status about family loyalty. The post read, "Family loyalty means everything. Happy Mother's Day to all the real moms who put family first." Margaret read the post with a thin smile, recognizing the irony immediately. She took a screenshot and added it to the evidence folder.
Another piece for the file. Linda can't help but incriminate herself.
Back at Webb's office, Margaret showed him the new post.
Add this too. The more she posts, the more she proves my case.
The will draft was complete, the evidence file thicker than ever, and Linda remained unaware of the impending legal storm that would strip her of everything. The morning of the signing, Margaret called Patricia, her voice firm but warm.
Come to the farmhouse. There's something I need to show you before it's final.
Patricia arrived within the hour, finding Margaret on the porch with a thick folder. Inside the study, Margaret opened the folder and handed Patricia the draft.
Your mother will receive $1. Jessica, $200,000, but only after a public apology to you.
Grandma, I never expected anything like this.
I have watched her choose Jessica over you for too long. This is the reckoning she earned.
Patricia stared at the page where her mother's name was followed by a single dollar. The words blurred.
It's not the money. It's that someone finally saw what she was doing.
Patricia looked up at Margaret, tears finally falling, but they were tears of release. Later that day, In Harold Webb's office, Margaret and Patricia sat quietly as the final document was laid on the desk. Margaret took the pen a final time. Her signature was steady, each stroke a deliberate correction of years of wrongdoing.
It is done. The old will is revoked. This is your final testament, and Exhibit A is the Facebook post.
And the conditional clause for Jessica?
It is airtight. She has 90 days from receipt of the notarized letter to issue a public written apology to Patricia. If she fails, she forfeits every cent.
That letter arrived at Jessica's apartment the following afternoon via certified mail. She tore it open and read the legal language outlining her inheritance. $200,000, contingent on a public apology to Patricia.
They expect me to publicly apologize? For what? Celebrating Mother's Day with Mom?
Back in Webb's office, a copy of the signed will was sealed, and the 90-day clock began to tick.
Now we wait. The ball is in Jessica's court, and I doubt she'll play fair.
Jessica didn't wait long. She called Linda within the hour, her voice shaking with fury.
She expects me to publicly apologize to Patricia for celebrating Mother's Day with you, as if I did something wrong. That old woman has lost her mind. First the power of attorney, now this. It's a bluff. She won't really disinherit us. I'm not apologizing. Not for this. Let her keep her money. Don't be foolish. We fight this. I'll contest the entire will. She can't cut us out with a Facebook post.
They agreed. No apology, no surrender. Jessica deleted the letter from her phone, a decision that would cost her $200,000. Meanwhile, Patricia sat in her kitchen, the morning light slanting across the table, and let herself hope for one quiet moment.
Maybe she'll apologize. Maybe this will finally make her see. But I can't count on it.
Linda, true to her word, contacted a litigation attorney the same day, setting the stage for the bitterest court battle the family had ever seen. The 90-day clock ticked down, but Jessica's response never came. Within a week, Linda's attorney filed a formal contest in probate court, alleging Margaret had been unduly influenced by Patricia.
Patricia manipulated an elderly woman. This will is a travesty.
Harold Webb received the petition with measured calm, laying it on Margaret's desk later that afternoon.
She's welcome to try. The evidence is on our side.
The court assigned a pre-trial hearing date, and Webb began preparing a comprehensive response. He organized every piece of evidence: the Facebook post, the brunch photos, and the 14 text messages. One message was already marked as Exhibit B, desperate little party. Good thing I have one real daughter.
I just want this to be over. To never hear her voice again taunting me.
She'll learn that her words have consequences. The court will see the truth.
The trial date was set, and the two sides squared off, each certain they held the higher ground. During the pre-trial hearing, Linda's attorney stood before the judge, voice dripping with feigned concern. My client's mother at 88 was isolated and coerced. This will doesn't reflect her true wishes.
Opposing counsel is correct about one thing: this will doesn't reflect Margaret's wishes. It reflects her documentation.
Webb entered Margaret's handwritten journals into record, 18 months of entries detailing Linda's neglect of Patricia. Then the Facebook post was projected onto a screen in the courtroom. My only real daughter on the day that matters. Days later, in a small deposition room, Patricia faced Linda's attorney, her hands folded on the table.
My mother skipped my college graduation because Jessica had a spa day. No one thought to invite me. That was the pattern. I won't let her make me cry again. Not in front of them.
By the end of pre-trial proceedings, the 14 text messages were admitted as evidence of Linda's ongoing malice. Linda's case was crumbling, but the final verdict still lay ahead, a question mark hanging over the courtroom. The trial commenced on a gray morning, Judge Simmons presiding with a gaze that silenced the courtroom. Exhibit A was projected onto the wall, the brunch photo, 2 women raising glasses, Linda's caption bold beneath, "My only real daughter on the day that matters." A collective intake of breath swept through the gallery. Linda's attorney stood quickly, his voice smooth and minimizing.
Counselor, your client posted this publicly on her daughter's wedding day. I'd like to hear her explanation.
Linda rose to the stand, the same self-satisfied smile from the brunch now frozen on her face.
It was just Mother's Day. Jessica and I have a tradition. Patricia knew that.
Webb rose, holding a printed enlargement of the photo, pointing at Linda's expression.
This is the face of a woman mocking one daughter while celebrating the other. It was not a mistake.
The judge's pen paused, and the air in the courtroom thickened. For the first time, Linda's mask cracked. Webb stood again, this time holding a stack of printed messages. He passed them to the clerk. Exhibit B read, "Patricia's desperate little party is finally here. Good thing I have one real daughter." The words fell like stones. Linda's lawyer shot up, his voice sharp with objection.
Overruled. These messages go directly to the petitioner's character and credibility. Continue, Mr. Webb.
Another message appeared on the screen. At least Jessica knows how to treat her mother. Patricia can keep her tacky little wedding.
Mrs. Grant, did you send these 14 messages to your relatives on the morning of your daughter Patricia's wedding?
Yes, but it was just venting. Every family has private conversations.
In the gallery, Patricia didn't flinch. Her eyes stayed on Linda, but her expression was stone.
She called my wedding tacky. Even now, she can't stop. But this time, it will cost her everything.
The courtroom fell into a charged silence. All evidence had been presented. Closing arguments loomed.
This will wasn't born from anger. It's a grandmother's correction of a mother who mocked her own daughter on her wedding day. Linda chose a Mother's Day brunch over her daughter's wedding. Then she chose to mock her to the entire family. The will only reflects her choices.
Linda's lawyer countered weakly, his voice thin as paper. "This is jealousy, not justice," he insisted, but even Linda looked away as the words hung in the air.
I have heard enough. This court will recess for deliberation. Counsel, please remain available.
Outside the courthouse, Patricia and Margaret found a quiet bench, the weight of the trial pressing around them.
I never thought it would go this far. But I'm grateful, Grandma, no matter what happens.
You deserved more than an apology, child. You deserved a mother who showed up. This will doesn't fix that, but it sets the record straight.
They waited in the hush, hope and exhaustion mingling, each distant sound a possible footsteps with news. Inside, Judge Simmons studied the evidence with a deliberate pen, her decision weighing on the silence of the empty courtroom.
After careful review of the evidence, this court finds no undue influence. The amended will stands.
A collective exhale swept the gallery. Margaret closed her eyes, a single tear escaping.
Linda Grant is awarded exactly $1. Jessica Grant forfeits her conditional inheritance. No apology was ever issued.
Linda's composure shattered. She stood, her voice breaking across the silent room.
No, this is not justice. You can't do this.
The judge struck her gavel once, the sound cutting through the chaos. Patricia squeezed Margaret's hand, her own tears now silent and steady.
It's over. She finally has to face what she did.
Webb began gathering his files, a quiet satisfaction on his face. The courtroom emptied slowly, but Linda remained seated, staring at the dollar bill that would soon be her entire inheritance. Linda filed an emergency appeal the very next morning, but desperation was her only argument. The higher court agreed to a hearing, but the evidence remained the same damning collection. The brunch photo was projected again, the caption echoing through the chamber. The 14 text messages were read, each one a recorded instance of a mother's mockery. The appeals court denied her petition, citing clear and convincing evidence of sustained contempt. 6 months later, Patricia walked the farmhouse porch, the keys warm in her palm.
I never wanted this, but I understand now. Justice isn't revenge, it's truth made visible.
Every room in this house now holds your future, not her past.
In a rented room across the state, Linda stared at the dollar bill on her nightstand. The price of her cruelty had been exacted, and all she had to show for it was a single piece of paper she could never bring herself to cash. On a late spring afternoon, Patricia and Anthony drove the gravel road to the farmhouse, the fields blooming gold.
Come in, you two. The roses are out, and the tea is just the way you like it.
Thank you, Grandma. For everything. I never imagined having a place that felt so completely like home.
I made many mistakes, but fixing this one gave me peace. Seeing you whole gives me peace.
Patricia took Anthony's hand and walked the property line, the same path her grandmother had walked for decades.
This land doesn't just hold history, it holds healing.
From the kitchen window, Margaret watched them, her hands quietly folding a dish towel, a smile settling into her features. The farmhouse stood against the evening sky, its windows glowing. For the first time in years, it felt full.
I used to think justice meant winning. Now I know it means being able to sit in the quiet and not feel the ache.
And in that quiet, the story Linda had tried to write with cruelty was rewritten with something far more permanent: peace. 6 months later, in the dim light of her rented room, Linda stared at her phone. Her thumb hovered over the keyboard, arrogance finally swallowed by need. She typed, "Patricia, things are tough. I need $40,000. Can you help out? As family." No apology, no acknowledgement. She pressed send, the indicator glowing, and waited. At the farmhouse, Patricia's phone buzzed on the kitchen table, the screen lighting with a name she hadn't seen in months.
After everything, she still thinks I owe her something, as if the $1 wasn't message enough.
She read the words again, the audacity almost stunning. But Patricia didn't delete the thread. She didn't block the number. Instead, she opened her photo gallery, her finger pausing on an image she had kept for exactly this moment. She began composing her reply, not a single word, just an attachment. Patricia attached the screenshot, Linda's brunch photo, captioned "My only real daughter," and pressed send without a word. The message zipped through the network. A picture worth more than any currency. Linda's phone buzzed. She opened the reply, expecting compliance, and saw the image icon. The post loaded, her own smiling face from Mother's Day, the caption underneath blazing like a verdict. Tears welled as she read the caption she had written, now a mirror reflecting the mother she had become. Her phone clattered to the table. She had asked for help and received only the ghost of her own words.
She kept this. She waited for this moment.
At the farmhouse, Patricia stood at the window, the afternoon sun warming her face. She didn't need to reply. The photo was the reply. The caption that had cost Linda half the estate had now cost her any remaining connection, and Patricia was finally free.